The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Thanks for listening. I'm Nikki Glaser. Everyone here, Noah. Hi.
Hey.
Brian.
Hi.
You're on camera. Don't forget to look ahead. Sometimes I watch the YouTube and I'm like, we're all just looking down in the corner like we're just recording audio.
It's a T-Rex head.
Well, no, this is realistic for me because I don't make eye contact with
That's a
people.
good point. Okay, sorry. You're giving the viewers the real experience of being friends with you. Okay. And Sean O'Connor also is joining us.
Hey!
Hey. Oh, listen to that crispy, clean, crystal clear mic.
I got a mic now.
Yeah,
you can
buddy.
really hear how terrible my voice is.
I know. You just had the option to put the headphones into the mic so that you could hear your own voice. And Noah had offered that, and you said, "God, no, I don't want to hear my own voice." You opted out. I don't mind hearing my own voice when it's live. I don't want to hear it later.
Right.
Does
Yeah,
that make-
same for me.
Do you feel the same way? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I like hearing my voice live. Yeah, I want to hear it because it makes me feel like I'm being recorded. And then I don't know, I feel like it gives me a little bit of a boost.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get to broadcaster
it makes me feel
mode.
like I'm on stage.
Yeah.
Like it's as the would be doing stand up in your room as opposed to on a stage. The stakes are higher.
Interesting. I'm the exact
You don't
opposite.
feel
I
it?
never want to hear myself. Honestly, whenever I pay too close attention to how I sound on stage, all I hear is a ping on the mic, and then I just start thinking about that the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
I like to pretend we're not being recorded so I could be super unfiltered.
Oh, see, that's so interesting because I'm way better when the pressure's on. And I am not good at all when the pressure's off. I look at video that Emily takes of me over the weekend to make into a reel. And if I don't think I'm being recorded or I haven't prepared something to do, I am so uncharismatic. I look like a child laborer in the 1809 or something. The joy is drained from my face. I'm I'm devoid of talent. Why did I even think I could do a reality show at any point where I would be interesting all the time? I'm so boring to watch most of the time. And then Kirsten's mom did a really good impression of me as a child or as a teenager because she said that, people ask her what I was like, and it's just crossed arms, staring at the ground, kind of looking pissed, biting my lip. And that is I think that's based on the footage that Emily's taken of me. I think that is my stasis.
That's interesting. You don't get any benefit from doing anything other than getting praise or you need to be watched and seen, and you need to get that praise from people watching you. So much so that if no one's watching you, you'll get nothing out of your own personal.
Yeah, I mean, but I will go as far as to say I'm having a really bad self-esteem day, so let's just take everything I say with 1,000 grains of salt. But I had to watch. We're working on putting together a highlight reel of my career for the intro video for my tour. And I had to watch that today, and I'm just why is this bitch famous? What have you done? You are just so bored. I just I was an internet troll on myself. I wanted to cyberbully myself so hard. I could have taken me down so bad. And I think I'm just constantly, I just was I came home and I was at Starbucks watching it because I have been avoiding watching it forever because I don't want to watch myself. And I don't want to have to give notes on it. But you have to, because if I don't give notes on it, then Chris and Emily just give notes. And then when it's not up to snuff, when I eventually have to see it, I'll be I hate it. And they'll be well, you didn't give notes. So I have to watch it. I'm at Starbucks watching it. And I came home and I was crying to Chris about how I just can't, I can't do this anymore. I just can't. I can't. I think I'm quitting. I just can't. I can't believe anyone is entertained by me. I can't believe that I've tricked everyone. Imposter syndrome is working overtime today. I'm just and then I had to watch a highlight reel of my life that I'm just give up already.
Yeah. But listen, now you have it for your funeral, which is great.
I just want to be buried in an unmarked grave. No one can find me. I want what everyone talks about is about how you can't find my grave, so that everyone doesn't focus on my lack of talent.
I could send you, like, if we made a highlight reel of like 10, 15 people that are even more famous than you, I think you'd see why you're famous also. I mean, like, no one else has, like, nobody has any. If you look at just highlights of people, very few people, unless you're an athlete, have actual talent.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's why I told about the highlight reel. I don't want any jokes. I don't want any like setup punch. I don't want to hear the audience watching this video and not laughing because they're not in the show, right? Like they're not in the performance where that joke had context. And so I said I only want non sequitur, and I had requested non sequitur to begin with, but I did the snarky thing of looking up the definition of it to put it in the email to like, unless in case you don't know what it means nothing outside. It means it's completely untech. But then I didn't do that because I'm like, they know what that means. So I just want it to be like little like moments here and there that aren't trying to be funny. Like I don't want anyone to laugh at this reel.
But the audience does. But the audience would laugh at the reel if you put jokes in there. I mean, I've seen a million pre-roll like, here's what's coming up next at the Comedy Addict videos, and people do laugh at the bits played before the show. They do, if it's good, they do.
They do. It is weird. I was always like, oh no. Like I remember being at the Comedy Addict
and knowing that your video had played the week before.
Oh no, I was more like they played Nate Bargatze before me, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do as well as that video. I can't
follow this. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I always was like, oh my god, that means that my video was playing all last week during someone else's shows, and like that comic had to see me bomb in front of them.
No, your video's crushed. I saw those videos.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, very good videos.
I don't mean to be like, when, tell me how great I am. I'm more trying to relate. Maybe anyone else can relate to just feeling like fraudulent and what's the point? And like, oh my God, I have to like keep this up. I feel like, what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio in that movie where he just is like pretending to be other people and he can't stop, or he'll just like, he has no other thing to do. Yeah. Catch Me If You Can. I'm kind of feeling like that.
Maybe you should change your perspective on what that pre-roll video is supposed to be. It's not necessarily supposed to be there to entertain or to make people laugh. It's supposed to be there to get people amped. It's more supposed to be
like a lie to me, though. That feels dishonest because it's like, are you ready? And it's like the words like come out and it's like, it's time for Nikki, and it's just like boom, 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 and it's like it's too. It feels like. I don't like I can't follow that. In other words, like I really can't. And like, it's just me going like, I guess I've always wanted to, like, it's about like, I don't know. I think I'm just going to kill it. Like it's all these confident moments where I've like had enough caffeine in my system and just was in a good enough mood on the red carpet and like and thinking about like messages I want to send to younger girls instead of like whatever this is that I'm talking about. That's probably a bad example for younger girls of me hating on myself so that they go, well, I don't achieve as much as you, that I should probably think I'm worthless. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's never enough. And I'm just having a bad day. I'm just tired. And today is a day on my schedule that says no work. And it says once every 10 days, I want a day with nothing to do. Yeah. Nothing. And podcast does it's fine. Like podcast, whatever. It's like I can be myself and let my hair down. But
no work is short for nothing's working. Did you know that?
Oh, whoa.
Is that true? Is that true?
That's just how it feels. No,
that does feel that way.
Look at the video. It's not for you. It's not meant to make you feel good. Look at it in the perspective of the audience. And if you're buying a ticket and you're coming to see the Nikki Glaser show, you want to see that video and get amped, even though you feel like you might not be able to meet that bar that you're setting. For the audience's sake, it is awesome to see like essentially a trailer for your favorite comedian before they come out on stage. Think about like the Burt shows or if you've ever seen like an Andrew Schultz show. I'm sure they did this in Vegas at the Burt show, right? Didn't they play like essentially a trailer for Burt
Yeah, but those
And
guys
it's
like
just-
believe in themselves. Like that's like genuine behind it. I'm in the back chugging a Celsius trying to feel something as this video is playing, and I'm cringing because I'm like, oh, this isn't me. Like a better video. Like that's why I love Bo Burnham's song about I wanna make you laugh, but I also don't respect you for laughing at me because I don't think that I'm good enough. I want to care what you think, but not care what you think. I want to give you the night out that you deserve, but I also want to do what I want to do, which is probably against what you even like. Like, I feel like not that I do respect my crowd. That's absolutely. Actually, I respect my crowd more than ever now because I'm like, I'm doing weirder stuff than I've ever done, and they're still by my side. But I just feel, yeah, I don't know what the feeling is.
You could
I'm just like, it's
undercut
getting
the
too
video.
big.
Yeah.
I feel too big, and I can't fill those shoes. Like, I felt better in like smaller theaters. Now I feel like when I'm there in the moment, I don't want anyone coming to my shows thinking I'm not having a good time and I'm not like in it and I don't like feel like I deserve it in the moment, because I actually do. When I'm out on the stage, like all of this stuff goes away. It really does. That's actually the reason I keep doing it. It's like it's the fuel that makes me feel like none of these like apprehensions I have or insecurities I have, it all disappears on stage. So it's like it is real, and I would never want to. And I will tell you the truth. Like, if I was miserable on stage, I would say that. But I really am not. So I don't want anyone coming to my shows thinking I'm like, whoa, I don't want to do this. I will say that I'm dreading it until I step out on stage. But the second I step on a stage, I am having so much fun. And I am not looking at the clock, waiting for it to be over. The only time I've ever felt that way, really, is at that Cabo show that we did, Sean. Like, where we bombed. That's the only time I'm watching the clock, like, when is this over? Otherwise, I am loving it, but I dread everything. I dread going out to dinner. I don't love going out to dinner because I don't have to perform. But I dread any time I have to be on, and then when I am on, I'm having a good time. If that makes sense.
I can relate to that for sure.
To go back to Brian's point, is you could have the hype video, and it could be like super like you are the Chicago Bulls in the 90s, like really hyped up, and then you could get 2 minutes of just undercutting it as soon as you walk on stage. Like,
that's a good idea. I mean, one time I did that because I used to have one of these reels that was kind of like really selling it, and I went out and I had a moment where I said, did you all enjoy that video that I had put together so that you would walk away feeling entertained tonight? Because I don't feel like this show is good enough, and at least you saw that, and that was impressive. And then they were just confused. Like, people are confused when I shit on myself because it doesn't go with what the night looks like, and it's not what they think of me as. And I have to kind of
Right. They don't see you like that.
Yeah, and I know I shouldn't even reveal this is how I feel about myself, because no one wants their like someone that they, I don't want to say the word idolize or like are entertained by, thinking like, I don't know if it's probably bad for business to say that I'm insecure and I don't think I'm good, but I'm human, and that's what's going on in my head. And I feel like most artists feel this way if they're telling
Why
the
don't you
truth.
just not watch the video?
Because I know that I will see it when I'm off stage, and I will go, why did you put that one thing in that's so embarrassing?
Can you not watch it before you get on?
No, I'm like, well, in the wings of the stage.
Yeah.
So I'll at least hear it, and I will hear it. And hearing is worse than seeing. If I could watch it on mute, I would be fine with it. I would have no notes. But
what if we put you on wires so you're above the stage? So after stops playing, you drop down.
oh God, I don't know. There's got to be a solution. I think I'm just tired.
What about playing the video at the beginning of the show, and then Sean has to come out and undercut the video?
Yeah, you have to follow it.
I think.
But do you ever feel that way of like, even when you're like when you're having like a great moment in your life, you're like, oh, this just means I have to keep it. Like, I really feel like if I had a kid, I would just be worried about it. Like, what if it goes away? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't even enjoy something because you're just so worried about when it will go away, or when, like, I keep thinking about, I'm playing these giant venues and selling out multiple shows. Next time around, everyone will make fun of me when I only do 3 shows in Boston and not 6. And they'll go like, yes, Nikki's failing now. And they'll talk about it amongst themselves and say, well, she had a big year, but then everyone figured it out or whatever. Like, do you think about that stuff?
I have the exact opposite. Whenever something really good happens for me, I get mad. And because I'm so bitter, I'm just like, it's about fucking time. Like, why did it take this fucking long
I have
for this
never
to
felt
happen?
that way in my whole life.
No, I'm just like, I always just think when something good happens to me, I'm like, what if I just die right now?
Yeah.
And
That's what I think too.
I like that. I like that because then you have it and you never have to do it and you never disappoint anyone. That is like, honestly, sometimes I go like, I think that's the best case scenario for me of having like, because everyone loves the story of like, what could that girl have been? What would her potential have been? And you can just go bananas thinking about like what a life this woman could have led. And well, the truth is it would have been probably mediocre, right? Like that most things are.
Eventually.
And so I kind of want to get something and then like,
Well, then the trailer becomes an in memoriam. And maybe that's what it should be. Maybe it should
no, my
be...
in memoriam's going to be popular. Oh yeah, we had to put that in the reel. I didn't even think about that. All right, we got to go to break and I'll come back in a better mood. Bye. All right, feeling better.
Whoa, yeah, we just watched
Nikki's.
We just watched Nikki's hype video during the break.
Oh, yeah.
Now she's in a better mood.
I'm back. I'm
She
in
saw
a
all of
good
the
mood.
highlights.
I just don't know. Some days it's just like, what's the point of all of this? You just have to keep eating and working out and trying to get rest and unpacking and cleaning your clothes and packing again. And I keep thinking that maybe the point of all of this be based on Instagram reels that eventually show up on my feed at 3 a.m. once I've exhausted everything else, that the point of life is love. And I just don't even know what the fuck that means.
No, I think
or
because I don't
happiness.
think it is, because then I see Elon screaming at me or like a happiness, but like happiness is clean clothes that will eventually get dirty and I have to clean again.
No, you know what happiness is?
A warm gun. What?
Happiness is unhappiness. It is striving towards something that is so far away that your life is dedicated towards getting that thing. And it seems like once people do reach that pinnacle and achieve that thing, they realize that, oh my God, what was the point of all this? And then they lose even the concept of possibly being happy.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're poor and you're working a 9 to 5 and you're like, I gotta make enough money so that I can finally quit this job and go to, Bermuda, the concept of being happy in the future is still something you have. But once you achieve that and you can just fly to Bermuda and quit your job, you got to goon.
Okay, hard disagree.
That's why I like gooning, is because it's the promise of something good that is down the pike or pipe or whatever they say.
Yeah.
And it hasn't arrived yet, because once it arrives, it's only going to go away. It can maintain, but it's going to be really hard. It's not going to feel as good as when you first got it. So it's diminishing returns no matter what, or it goes away. It doesn't get really better. Okay, Noah, what's hard disagree?
Okay, hard disagree, because I feel like that kind of focuses on the financial aspect, which, yeah, okay, that will make people less stressed, but I don't know if that equates happiness. Happiness is what I learned over the weekend is the ability to empathize and emotional regulation. So if you can regulate your emotions and be an empathetic person, that means that you have a great social circle and really meaningful friendships and stuff.
Oh, that's so inspiring. Because to me, I was going to hard disagree with both of you and say happiness is looking at your phone. I genuinely love looking at my phone.
Let's talk about what makes when we are genuinely the happiest we are.
That's dopamine. I mean, if you want to equate happiness with dopamine,
but isn't dopamine happiness? How the fuck do you? That's the thing that goes off in your. That's the chemical that's rushing through your nervous system.
Dopamine.
When you're happy.
It's not when you're happy. Dopamine is a chemical that's meant to get you to do something to make you happy. That's what dopamine is. So when you're looking at your phone, you're searching for happiness and you're getting this feedback that, oh my God, I'm getting closer to the thing that's going to make me finally happy.
That's what makes me happy, though. Dopamine is what makes me happy. I do not like
Dopamine
happiness.
Makes people
I just
crazy.
realized I don't like happiness. I like dopamine.
I'm hard agreeing with Nikki. I don't actually know what real happiness is.
Yeah,
but I definitely know what dopamine is.
That's what you're supposed to be meditating for.
What?
That's be content.
I don't have to. I want to meditate so bad, but I'm too depressed today to meditate. Like I have no hope today.
I know
like
how that
when
feels.
you're in like that kind of depression.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care about the cure. I don't want to find it. I don't want to do your little exercise, Nikki from last week, who was like hopeful about meditating. I don't want to do it. I don't even care about feeling happy. It's pointless because I'm just going to feel like this again because last week I felt happy and now I feel like this again. What is the goddamn point? That's how I'm feeling today. But I will say that the happiest I am is when I am done with something and I get to be on my phone in my bed watching ASMR videos with one AirPod in, the other not, because I have to sleep on my side. And if you sleep your ear into the pillow with an AirPod in, it goes ear. Do you guys have that same thing happen? If it like pushes in your ear too much?
I just put on a speaker.
You do? I can't have Chris hearing me listen to these Asian women eat giant cakes. I can't have him hear these tiny Asian women eating cakes at 2 times the speed. I can't have that.
You don't want to know that will make him horny.
Or it's too embarrassing what I listen to, but that is my happiness. And then having the dog has already pooped and peed recently. That is also happiness. She's tucked in the bed next to me. She's not like wanting to play. She's been like exercised enough. Okay, so dog is done. I have nothing on my to-do list. I'm on do not disturb and no one's waiting for a reply from me on something. And I have at least 11 hours ahead of me with nothing to do. That is happiness. Before I have to wake up.
I agree with that. I mean, then you're just free. Even more than 11 hours would be nice. Like,
I mean,
2 full days.
I'm not getting greedy here. I mean, I would. It would be amazing. The 2 full days does not exist. Today I was supposed to have nothing to do.
No,
and I woke up. And Emily's so sweet. She like texts me every morning with my to do. Like, I need a response on this, and it's like numbered 1 through literally 48.
And level
it's
of importance.
Like, and I'm like, this is not a day off. When I wake up at 7 a.m. to walk my dog and there's a 9-point checklist, and I know Emily's going to text me right now being like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I love the list, Emily, and you need that information. Like that is crucial. But like I had to wake up this morning, and I know this is like, Nikki, I would kill for your life. I know there's 1,000 people thinking that right now, at least. But I had to wake up this morning and go through
like
all of the pictures from this weekend, which I don't want to see because I've recently gained weight. I didn't have a spray tan, and I didn't like a lot of the dresses that I put on my body. And and my face is just doing things I don't like right now, and my hair is breaking off, so I look like I always have like a halo. And I've been to the Magic House. If you're from St. Louis, you know what I'm talking about. And it's like hair sticking up on end, like it's so. Anyway, I was going through all these pictures. Then I have to format them. Then I have to post them. Then I have to write a caption that's like, and then I just picture like a comedian reading my captions and being like, she's too sincere. She should be funny. And then I try to think of something funny, and then I just give up because I'm like, I don't want to I hate trying to be funny. It's like so exhausting. So then I'm just sincere, and then I post it and I don't look at it. I wish I was that cool of a girl. Like there's some girls that just really make this look so easy, and they're like very high fashion, but they're still relatable.
The only people that are consistently happy 100% of the time are idiots. I mean, that's the people who are walking through life constantly happy have no idea what's going on, have no conception of like how they're perceived, and that's true happiness.
They're driving Cybertrucks. I think the people that are happy.
No, those people are like the angriest people on the planet.
I know, but they're really like narcissist happy, where they don't know that they're not happy, but they don't know what comes from a place of insecurity.
Yeah, no, I get that. But I feel like Cybertruck, the reason why you buy a Cybertruck is because you're so angry and embittered with the world that you just want to be in constant troll mode. Your whole life is, I want to get into several confrontations today.
Yeah.
This is the quickest way, the quickest route is by buying a Cybertruck and driving around town.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say. I don't think anyone's happy. I think people are happy at times. I think we're all happy at times.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't think consistently happy is actually a way that you can actually live. That is like I think you have to, it's all a roller coaster. There's ups and downs. And now I'm on SSRI, so I never even have an up or a down. I am just feeling
nothing on those. I really was craving those today. I was craving feeling nothing today so much. Because it's just so hard to to like fake it.
There
You know,
are
like-
some people though who are psychotically happy all the time, and we
Yeah.
met a couple of them. We met that Nick Swisher. Nick
Oh,
Swisher, yeah, remember him? He was happy.
MLB
Yes.
legend.
He's happy all the time. And then that guy we interviewed from the Not Safe podcast who lived in the back of OJ Simpson's house,
Kato
Kato
Kalin.
Kalin?
Kato Kalin. He seems constantly psychotically happy.
Yeah,
No.
Kato Kalin's not happy.
No way is Kato Kalin happy.
Okay, well, Nick Swisher at least is a great example of someone who is somehow figured out how to be 100% happy 100% of the time.
I
Yeah.
can tell you how. He's a baseball player, and they don't think about anything outside of baseball.
That's right.
That's nice.
And I was watching a clip today of the Mets first baseman Pete Alonso signing a ball for a child at spring training, and he just looks at the kid and goes, "School sucks, right?" And that is, and I feel like that was a perfect encapsulation of the baseball player's brain.
Yeah.
School does suck. That was
That's
such
true.
a simple thing. That was the
That's
worst
slap.
part of life when you were a kid. I mean, I know a lot of kids have a lot worse things going on than
Damn, that
but,
hit home for the kid. It's amazing that he was
does.
able to relate to that kid on such a level. I mean,
but that is all you think sucks when you're a kid.
yeah.
Yeah,
I thought litter bugs sucked.
Yeah, litter
School.
sucks. School sucks. You don't realize that your parents' marriage sucks until you're
Vegetables.
much older.
Vegetable.
You're so right. It's happening right in front of your eyes and you don't know it. Yeah, I went over to my parents' house last night actually because I got into town and I can't be alone, and so Sean relates. And so I just dropped my bags at 7:00, and I traveled all day yesterday from 6:30 in the morning until 7 p.m. at night, and delays just sitting on a plane next to a monk in full monk garb in first class, which I'm like, how's this monk affording first class?
Yeah.
But maybe he's just got the miles. Maybe he's a traveling monk. But also the monk was playing Sudoku or playing some kind of game. And he also when I got it, he was sitting on the aisle and I was sitting in the window. And when I was boarding the plane, he was on the aisle and I was like, hey, I'm right here, And he got up fast and he slammed his head on the top. And it was just so funny to see a man in religious garb be clumsy, I was just he's oh,
Just
sat me down.
undercutting his entire religion.
Oh, it was crazy. And then we sat next to each other, and then I texted Chris because Chris went to a school that monks taught at, and so I was like, would you recognize this monk if I sent a picture? And he said no. And I said, he's an all brown. He's like, our monks wore black. So anyway, then the plane sat on the tarmac for 2.5 hours, and the monk was getting agitated. It was so nice to see a man who's has a relationship with God and knows where he's going in the next life, and to see him get anxious and kind of shifty in his seat. You think those kinds of people have it all figured out and don't even need their phones to entertain them, right? You would just think they could just sit there peacefully and accept what is handed to them.
Yeah, I can't believe a monk has a
contraire.
subscription to New York Times games.
And has to go to a T-Mobile store and and what a
It's
joy
running
to just
slower and the battery's not
wear a
keeping as long.
uniform.
Was this though leaving Portland?
No, this was in Denver to St. Louis.
Oh, okay. Because I was people in Portland just dress like monks sometimes.
That's true. We had a good weekend on the road in the PNW. I almost said PNC. That's a bank. We were in Tacoma for 2 nights. Then we were in Toppenish for a couple hours. And then we were in Portland for 2 nights. So we did Tacoma for 2 nights at a casino, the Emerald
Queen.
Thank you. Those were really fun shows. And then we took a private plane, which I'm not even going to get into, but I'm not going to get into why we did that. I think we did it because someone said that'd be cool. And I just go, great. And then it was $15,000 for no reason. Cause it took longer to fly there than driving would have taken. So I don't know what happened, but I think when someone suggested it on a call, I assumed it was a 7-hour drive. Thus, that would make sense to fly. But it was a 3-hour drive, and it was a half-hour drive to the airport alone. And then we had to sit on the tarmac, and then the flight where we all lost, I think, years of our lives worrying about a crash. I mean, I was so stressed out the whole weekend about this fucking private jet flights, and I'm not someone who gets flight anxiety, that I would have driven 17 hours to avoid what the stress that it gave me.
It gave me so much stress that it single-handedly solved my fear of commercial flights.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't
right.
even use medication going home yesterday. I just
Wow.
felt, for the first time in 10 years, I
It felt like a car now.
Yeah, it felt like a car. I
compared
was
to
like,
the private jet.
and then I
easy.
was like, I feel so safe. And we land, and I look at my phone, and there's a plane upside down in Toronto.
Yep. But they all survived, and that seems like very exciting
Yeah,
and
they all
terrifying. I
survived.
mean, they're all like going to be fucked, but traumatic wise. But
What you did, Sean, is known as exposure therapy. You exposed yourself to something, and then you exposed yourself to such a heightened degree that the lesser stuff feels like it's nothing now.
God, I felt electric yesterday getting on that plane. I'm like, I now am not afraid of you.
It's not scary at all. Commercial jets don't crash. Private jets do. And the one we were in certainly would have. We were, and again, here's Nikki Glaser complaining about her fucking very fortunate, privileged life. She's complaining about private jet.
Private jets and a Sizzle reel.
It's not the private jet that you're picturing that people are popping champagne on and having masseuses, and there's fruit trays, and the private jet I took to New Orleans,
Stevia and fruit snacks,
was amazing. No, there was a couple bags of Skinny Pop, but it's a single engine prop plane.
Yeah, it was a single engine prop plane. It was obviously from the 80s because, in the seat rest, there was a TV guide. And the pilots, I'm not kidding when I say this, just would not be hired by, they were plenty
They would
nice.
struggle getting work at Starbucks.
Yeah, these were DEI guys, but white.
But white. They did not dress like pilots. They dressed like they were going to take you out fishing. They would not assuage our fears because we were like, hey, we have some nervous travelers aboard, aka Sean. Sean was really nervous and really anxious. And when Sean gets anxious, he asks, Sean is one of the smartest people I've ever met, doesn't forget things, remembers literally everything. I've been trying to get him on Jeopardy because he just has a great mind for trivia and remembering things. Sean, when he's nervous, cannot remember how long a flight is. He will literally ask how long a flight is going to be. I would say 15 times in a 30-minute span. He will ask me, he will ask Emily, he will ask Emily to ask the pilot, how long is it going to be? And we're like, we just told you 5 minutes ago it was going to be 30 minutes. It's crazy, but he can't retain it because I think it gives him a sense of control. His brain chooses to forget so that his brain is able to get some kind of information that can assuage this fear coursing through his veins.
I think so. That sounds right.
The guys, we told them, we go, hey, can we, Sean even asked, Sean's brave enough to say, hey, can you ask them is it going to be a smooth flight? And they go, it should be.
Yeah. They were too casual.
But doesn't it make you feel more confident?
Just lie. Even if you don't think it's going to be, just lie. What is it? You can always just say, well, we didn't expect that. But why not just make your passengers feel
or just have empathy?
Because then maybe he'd freak out if you say, yeah, it's going to be completely smooth, gliding on a smooth plane.
No, you just communicate to us. Listen, this is what pilots need to do. Do I need to say it again and again? Just communicate to people on the plane. There's always going to be, especially on a passenger jet with hundreds of people, there's going to be at least 20 people on there who are scared to death the entire time. All they want is to know that you are okay with what's going on up there. So any kind of shift in altitude, any kind of twist or turn or bump, just get over the thing and say, just want to let you know this is completely normal. Anything that seems out of the ordinary, just communicate to people.
Especially since
instead
it's
of
in the
telling
news
us the
cycle.
wind speed of where we're landing. Stop giving us or telling us about the new credit card. Why are you wasting our ear? You have no problem getting over the intercom with that bullshit, or telling us little jokes that you learned from a joke book when you were taking a shit one day and you've retained for the rest of your life to give yourself a personality. Why don't you Tell us actual things that will help people feel better because they haven't flown 6,000 flights like you have. They have nerves. Like, again, you're right, Noah. It's empathy. Like, think of other people. And these guys, we literally told them people are nervous on the flight and they wouldn't give us it. And they just I didn't like their cavalier attitude about the whole thing. And kind of just they're like, well, we could make it a little bumpy. And it's like, don't you even fucking dare joke about that.
Yeah, we're literally flying over Mount Rainier. Like, we saw it. Like, we were at the same level of as that mountain. Like, there was something going through my head where I'm like, if we crash, who am I going to eat first? It was going to be Tommy. And
no, if the guys are going to probably hear this podcast and be like, oh, she's such a bitch. You guys know what you were doing. I liked that. I almost liked their cavalier attitude because it made me realize they just look at this driving down the road to go to 7-Eleven to pick up some cigarettes. They do not think. That's what I was trying to tell Sean, but they were a little kuh about it. And if you don't know what kuh is, guys listening, we know you are used to this, but we aren't, right? So, and also, I'm paying so much fucking money, and maybe you're not seeing enough of that money, and that's a problem with the way the company works, for you to give me the experience that is a little bit less than where are you walking? The door's on the other side, making fun of us for not knowing where the door is, or I don't know. It was just it was just not a luxury experience, but maybe I didn't pay for one. Maybe I thought the price that I paid was a luxury experience, but maybe it wasn't.
No, I think that is.
Do I fear complaining? Yes, because I fear they're just gonna someone will crash next time because they're she's a bitch and entitled. I'm usually so grateful, and I am grateful. It was a safe ride. They did land smoothly. They did. I would have liked to know when we were changing altitude because all of a sudden it just drops and you're the engines are failing. It is an abrupt, ready to descend. A little warning of that would have been fine. Not leaving us on the tarmac freezing cold for 20 minutes would have been cool.
In complete darkness.
In complete darkness. Okay, so we get to
not normal.
So it's the same. We have the same pilots to fly there. So we fly into Yakima. On
which, if you've
Friday.
never been,
where
if
is
you've
Yakima?
never been, you're exactly like everyone else in the state of Washington.
no one in Tacoma, which was 2-3 hours away, had ever even heard of Yakima. So we fly into Yakima.
Yakima's
in
a
Washington.
huge apple city. They've got a lot of apples come from Yakima.
Okay, a lot of hops do too. It's a big hoppy town, and so we fly to Yakima. And it takes as long as driving would have, and it's way more stressful and all that stuff. But that's fine. And then we land. We're gonna have the same pilots hours later. We go do the show, and then we come back. We drive 40 minutes to the show. We do the show. We come back. It is dark. When we come back,
the show is incredible.
So
go
good.
to Toppenish.
Toppenish is outside of Yakima. Amazing people, amazing show, so much fun.
This was at a casino?
Yes, I don't remember the name of the casino,
Okay,
Sean.
It's if I try to
Whispering
recall
Spirit Falls, something like that.
Yeah, it was Flying Eagle or Spirit Fall.
Yes.
It's gonna sound racist when I take a guess.
Yeah, but the people there really cared. The lighting guy went the extra mile. It was a great show, and the audience was really down. It was so fun. So then we go back on our way back, both Erica and my tour manager and Emily are texting with the company, the flight company, being our ETA is this. So we get back. They're expecting us. Our luggage is still on the plane, right? We get back. We get out of the car. The car pulls onto the tarmac. We get out of the car and. They're loading our bags onto the plane, but the door for the plane is not open. We're all just kind of standing there. It's cold. It's icy. It's there's no lights even on the tarmac. It's kind of barren. And the terminal is shut down. It's a small terminal and they're not open because it's late at night. So we're just kind of waiting there. And then I eventually was can we go inside? Or what's going on? What they should have said was, will you guys stay in the car because we're not ready for you? But what they did do was open up the hatch and let us into the plane. where we got in the plane and sat there for 20 to 30 minutes. I would say maybe even longer. They put the luggage, they stowed it, and then they left us on the tarmac in the cold in a pitch dark airplane with not even the ignition turned on, nothing turned on.
No safety
Maybe-
lights?
No safety
Nothing.
lights, and it's 14 degrees. It's
a dead
14
plane.
degrees at 10:30 p.m.
And like literally nothing. Like we're like, where did they go? What's going on? We have no and everything, and the like back hatches was still open. I think like maybe they're still loading things, but you can tell that they were just like, fuck these people. We're not ready for them. Let them on the plane and just make them sit there. When they could have just said, stay in the SUV. You guys got out too soon. We assumed the plane would be ready for us because why wouldn't it be?
Right.
Yeah.
Like you've been at the airport the whole time. You knew we were coming. We gave you a 40-minute heads up.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of like when you get a limo for prom and it's supposed to come pick you up, but like it just like leaves you in the cold. The guy like forgets about you because he's at the gas station smoking.
Yes. It felt we were out of control. I was just along
Just because
for the ride.
something's expensive doesn't mean it's going to be good. I think private
Right.
plane companies are just like any other company where there's
Yeah.
good ones and there's bad ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got a bad one. This does not sound normal to me.
That sucks.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm complaining about something that was really nice, but it was really hilarious, and I'm the only recognizable one of all of us, so I can't be the one complaining because then no one can complain because then everyone goes, she's a bitch. And then it gets around the pilot community, which this is already going to, I'm sure, private. This is going to make its way through and be like, she doesn't know the rules. They weren't supposed to board the plane.
What's going to happen
The truth is, they shouldn't let us on the plane.
You are
They
going to
did.
get a message from somebody who owns a private plane company saying, come to us. I'll treat you right. That's what's
I
going
would
to
love
happen.
that.
That's
But
what's
I don't
gonna
think we're
happen.
ever going to fly private again if I can
It's
help
not
it because
worth
it was
it.
so fucking stressful for our nervous systems. Like I think I'm still recovering from it. Just thinking I'm going to die. And I even wrote a card to my mom saying I loved her and that we're probably going to die on this jet because they had a station for Valentine's Day cards in the airport, the little terminal.
I'm so
And
glad you didn't tell me that's what you wrote.
Yeah, I wrote, but then I didn't send it. I just kept it in my bag because I was like, oh, if we find it I'll put it in my leather purse, which won't burn up in the crash. And I tucked it away in there. I was so anxious, but I couldn't show my anxiety because I felt like you were more anxious, and there's nothing worse than like the person who's usually not anxious, me being anxious. That would have thrown you off the
Like
fucking.
seeing dad cry.
Yes, dad can't cry. So instead, I was just making jokes and pushing down my fear, and then I think that's maybe why I'm like depressed this week. I'm like recovering from that like anxiety or that I pushed down, and then also what was I going to say? Oh, then so we're on the plane and Emily's like not worried at all. She is not freaking out at all. And Sean's kind of like interviewing her about it. He's like, so you're not scared at all right now? Like nothing. She's like, no, not really. You know what you need? You need a chill pill. We're like, what? She's like, you should try chill pill. And we're like, what are you? Yeah, the cool phrase. Like, it reminded me of my mom's friend back in the 90s who would say, take a chill pill to her daughter. But it's a real thing that Emily has. She was like, the thing that shocks your hand. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, Nikki, oh my God, I've showed you. And I was like, I would remember that. Don't make me feel like I am a senile person. Like I forget a lot of things. I forget people's names. I do not forget a little device that you hold on to and it shocks your hand so that you don't have anxiety. So it's called a chill pill. She learned about it from Rosie O'Donnell on TikTok. She assumed she had showed me. She had never showed me this thing. She bought one. It's shaped like a grenade. You hold it and it shocks your hand and it buzzes and shocks your hand. And it goes for 20 minutes and you hold it. And when you're having anxiety, it distracts you. You're not able to think because it's an amount of pain that's just enough pain to be distracting, but not enough to actually like hurt. And it actually calms your mind. And I am addicted to it. She gave me hers. We bought them all. I bought one for everyone on our tour because I'm like, I just think everyone needs this. Because we were all like, wait, can I hold it? I want to try it. And then we were all like, wait, can I try it again? Like we were all getting such soothing feelings from this thing. Didn't it work, Sean?
Oh, it's incredible. Like I straight up went on stage with a panic attack on Sunday and just like pushed through it. And then after I just used the chill pill and I felt incredible. Like
yes.
I feel like I'm never going to have a panic attack again.
Well, Emily said she used to have really bad anxiety and she doesn't anymore because of the chill pill. She was like, you can just have mine. I don't even need it anymore. I used to need it all the time. I used to hold it to go to bed with. I've been falling asleep with it. I woke up with this morning because I was depressed. I was like, I just want to hold this for a little bit. I really think it will like help with my depression and anxiety. Like I wanted to bring it on stage one night because I was just feeling a little bit down. But I don't think it's good for like performing. I was holding it all weekend long. I just started over every 20 minutes. I started over. Like I can't stop. It was the same thing I was doing with Ari. Ari had bought me these those little pads that shock your muscles.
Oh, the TENS machine.
Yes. That's why I was addicted to TENS. Because it was like causing enough pain that was distracting from my mental anguish.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like cutting, but it doesn't leave a scar. So if this is interesting to anyone, look up the chill pill on Amazon. They're $60. There's Sean's. And you hold it in your hand and it looks like a little key fob.
And it's battery powered?
Yeah, I mean, you just plug it in. You just charge it with a charger. Yeah. And I can't wait for people to get these because I cannot believe it took me so long to find this kind of thing. So I really wanted to talk about that today, and I'm glad we did. Okay, we have to go to break. We'll be back after this. So then we go to Portland after Yakima, and Portland is amazing. We had amazing brunches twice in a row at the Jam. Emily got us in there. It was totally booked up, but she called. And she worked her ways and she alluded to like, oh, it sucks that you guys are busy today. We're only in town for 2 days. And that led to the woman going, what are you in town for? Oh, I work for Nikki Glaser. Like, and then the woman's like, well, we can make some room. So the Jam jammed us in.
Nice.
Both days, Saturday and Sunday in Portland.
Nice.
It's so good on Hawthorne. It was delicious. We had such a good brunch. 2 days in a row. And then on Saturday night after the shows were incredible. The crowds were great. The theater was amazing. Huge. So many people. So fun. Crowds up there just like get it.
They go along with everything. It's like there's not even
going on up there. Yeah,
they're not repressed at all. They're just kind of like let an artist work.
Yeah, I think
they're
you can
not
extend
like,
that.
ew,
You can extend
weird.
that all the way down to NorCal and San Francisco. I think San Francisco up. I think it's all the same. It's just like
San Francisco gets a little woke. Where they'll be like, "Are you making fun? Are you marginalizing anyone?"
I guess it could get a little woke.
Which I'm all for. I'm woke as fuck, but they can get a little sensitive on behalf of people, I feel. Whereas, and it does go all the way up to Vancouver, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole
Keith's gonna
West
go
Coast.
to Alaska.
Yeah,
And
Goes up to Antarctica.
I'm willing to say it. I feel like this is the wokest comedy tour in America right now.
And so Portland is cool. Like it's a great, cool city. We went and did karaoke on Saturday night at this place called The Hallway. And
which is Shining themed for no real reason.
Yes.
And it's very
Not
funny
even with
because it's
Like the Stanley Kubrick movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which took
Because
place in Colorado.
Right.
by the way.
it took place in Colorado, but it was filmed 2 hours away from Portland, as the owner of the bar told me. And everything is just like pictures of The Shining, and then for some reason there's just a framed knife. It's not the knife from the movie.
Yeah, I think everything in Portland is themed, though. I think every strip club, every restaurant, has to they're a second grade classroom around Halloween or something. It's everything has to have a theme. And that was theirs.
Yeah.
And there was a dog that was playing fetch the entire time.
Oh, that's cool.
It was cool though. There weren't that many people there, and you just put in your song and it would come up pretty quickly. And then we got to sing, and we had a really great time singing and just hanging out after the show. But there was this one thing that there kept being performers that would get up and their name would be Joe, and they would say AKA, and then it would say some phrase. And at first I was like, that's a weird nickname to have. That one of them was clean my tank. And someone was like, why is that person's nickname Clean My Tank? I think Tommy said it or Emily. And I was like, I don't mean to like make this about me, but I have a joke where that's the punchline, and I feel like someone's trying to like get my attention with this. Like it wasn't like Nikki Glaser's here. Like it didn't feel like anyone really even knew, or it was. And I don't think that way ever when I go places. But I felt really dumb saying that as soon as I said it, because I'm like, oh my god, ew! Everyone thinks that you think this is about you, and it's not. And then the next one was, Dion, aka Zac Efron, and I was like, I think I have a joke about Zac Efron too from an old special. And then the next one was Dudley, aka Extra Long Twin Bed. And I'm like, no one's nickname is Extra Long Twin Bed. It doesn't even make sense. And I definitely have a joke about that. And then I was confirmed, because then the owner finally sheepishly came over and was like, have you noticed anything? And I was like, yes, I have noticed something. My friends thought I was a narcissist. I swear that. So these poor people that kept getting up to sing, and then they had some disgusting phrase like "cum slut" as their like nickname. It was crazy. One was "you need to floss," and it was like a joke about like me saying that someone needed to floss, but a guy's name was Joe, aka needs to floss. And I'm like, if I was Joe, I'd be deeply offended, because Joe was not in charge of the nickname. It was the guy running the karaoke machine.
And you wonder why people like become narcissists when they are super celebrities. It's like you were just confirmed. You're like, oh no, I'm not. I don't want to be a narcissist. I don't want to think this is all about me. And then if it is about you, how many times does that have to happen before you just start to assume that everything is about you?
Oh yeah, I was so embarrassed after I said it the first time, because I was like, clean my tank. Like, I bet that's just like a thing maybe people say, but I was like, I don't know. I just felt like it was, and I felt so, because Tommy just started working with us, and I don't want Tommy to think I'm like someone that's like, I think this is me. And so I was already planning on like apologizing to him later the next day, being like, I'm sorry I made that about me. I don't know why I thought it was. And then I was so happy when it ended up being about me, even though it was kind of annoying. But the people there were really nice, and the guy that runs the place is really fun. So that was a good place. And then final thought, and then on Sunday night, we were like, we're going to go get a karaoke room, like a private one, because that place wasn't open again. And then we realized Lisa Traeger was in town. My currently favorite comedian, Lisa Traeger, right off her special Netflix special Night Owl, which I'm obsessed with. She was in town working at Helium, the comedy club, and so we texted her Sunday morning being like, oh my god, we're here too. And then she was like, oh my god, after the show tonight, we're doing a strip club karaoke. And I was like, okay, I guess we're canceling our room. Everyone in this town's doing karaoke, so we went to a strip club called the Devil's Point.
Devil's Point.
Nice.
With karaoke.
That one.
Trademarked. They're the only club allowed to have stripper karaoke.
Yeah,
Whoa.
stripperoke as it's called. You get on stage and you sing, and then a stripper strips on stage while you're singing. But there's the classic bar that they swing around on. Then there's like pull-up bars that they're doing all kinds of gymnastics on. These women are so talented, so acrobatic, so hot. It was a spectacle. I did not sing because the list was like really long, and I didn't want to be the center of attention. And I honestly, I don't like being touched by strippers, male or female. So I just
seemed
didn't
like a
do
nightmare to sing. Like, truly, upon walking in, I was like, there's no chance I would ever do karaoke this way.
Because they're like rubbing on you the whole time.
Yeah, and you're beholden, like in front of, like, it was packed. And you have to stand at this circle, and they do their moves, and then they kind
of play with you.
Yeah, play with you.
And then Sean famously said when we said we're doing strip club karaoke, he goes, "Oh, good, I can be awkward in two different ways." Because it was like, and so we just watched. But luckily, it made karaoke watchable because these women are gorgeous and so talented and fully nude.
Whoa.
I saw assholes. I saw literal women's assholes. And which
this
is
was
not
also Emily's first
see.
time in a strip club. Is this what I hear?
Yes, it was. I think it was maybe Tommy's first time too. Maybe not.
Whoa.
Yeah, and so it was like but it's the best strip club experience because everyone there is happy doing what they're doing. They are really like exceptional at it. It's not something that they're doing because something else didn't work out or because there wasn't a sadness to it. There was like a joy in the air, among other things.
It was heartwarming. It felt like we were in like a workplace comedy, and these like coworkers love each other.
Yep.
And like they love the DJ who also it was like a gross dude who stripped.
I mean, it was there. It was the one time in my life that I've really felt like I was in a movie. I was like, we could shoot this. This is what they made Coyote Ugly look like. You know what I mean? Like the most fun bar in town where everyone is having the best time of their lives. Everyone is gorgeous. Everyone is talented and everyone's having a genuinely happy time. No one's too wasted. Nothing smells bad. Like everything looks clean. Everyone's in a good mood. Like it felt like how this kind of place would be portrayed in a movie in a sensationalized way that you go, there's no way it's going to be like that. That's truly what this place was. It was awesome. I cannot wait to go back. I do want to sing there at some point because it looked really fun, but it was just everyone that came out to me, and there were a lot of people there that knew me and were so nice and came out to me. One guy said he had quit drinking, but he was because of he heard me on Joe Rogan. He was clearly drunk, so that was confusing. But then he clarified that he had quit drinking for a year, and then
no, not now.
That was cool. No, yeah, of course not now.
Drunk faster.
Yeah.
My
Then
wife
he
is
heard
more
Ari
where I am.
Shaffir on Joe Rogan and started drinking again.
Yes, exactly. But it was really fun, and it felt good to go out and do things after the show. I mean, sometimes we have two shows and it's just like impossible to go out because none of us drink, you know, like none of us are like drugging or drinking. And so it's like, we're not the type to like really go out on the town. But this, I felt proud of myself for like doing something.
Yeah, experiencing the road. Like that's part that's part of how people say they stay sane on the road. It's like, you got to go experience the city.
Yeah.
I've heard like Mark Norman say that or something.
Yeah. That's who I think of too. Like I feel like he goes out and does things.
Yeah.
But it was really a fun weekend. I look forward to this weekend in Fort Lauderdale on Thursday, and then we're doing Boston. I'm doing 6 shows at the Wang Theater Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we are doing things during the day too. We have been invited to many different things in town because people know we're coming, and so that's very exciting. And I think my depression has lifted, to be honest with you. I'm feeling a little bit more clear-headed. Thank you for this therapy session.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Are you buzzing yourself right now? Are you holding on to that?
No, you got yours? Oh my God, I need to go get mine. I gotta charge it again. It's so good. Yeah, so check out the Chill Pill if any of that
Amazon?
resonates with you. Yeah, Amazon, $60. Totally worth it, you guys. I know that's maybe a price point that's like a little much, but it's like if you have anxiety or you have moments where you're like your mind is racing with thoughts and you need to like you just have nothing else to do and you want to meditate but you're not there yet. Like this is just something, it's almost like meditation that it makes you focus on something that isn't your thoughts. Meditation makes you focus on breath. This makes you focus on a weird numbing, like almost like your hand fell asleep kind of pain in your hand. Don't you think that's the same pain, Sean? It's like when you like your hand starts tingling because it fell asleep.
Yeah, it's definitely pins and needles, and I kind of always love that feeling.
All right. So check it out. Thank you for listening. We'll see you again tomorrow. Don't be good. Bye.